What's going on, guys? Good morning. Look, if you're not getting deals, then you're either insanely unlucky or you're doing something wrong. Simple as that. Consistent deals is a different thing than getting your first deal, right? So if you're getting your first deal and you haven't gotten your first deal, then you're doing something wrong. If you haven't gotten consistent deals, that's a different thing because you need systems and processes in place to get consistent deals. So this is more about getting your first deal in real estate. And realistically, if you haven't gotten your first deal, and it's been 90, 120 days, then you're probably doing something wrong. Now let me explain. To get your first deal, you don't need a CRM, you don't need all this fancy stuff. I mean, I know a guy who literally did his first $1 million with a paper CRM. So you don't need a CRM. All you need is conversations and offers with people, okay? Because offers are going to lead to checks, to contracts. And like I said, consistent deals is a different story than getting your first deal. This is specifically about getting your first deal. If you haven't gotten your first deal and you've been in the business for 120 days, or at least your first contract, then you're not putting in enough work. I mean, it's simple as that. The more offers that you put in and offer sellers on their property, it's directly correlated to how many contracts you get. So you need to find sellers, which you can do through cold calling, agent outreach, blah, 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 blah. So many different methods to do it. But it's not a market problem, or it's not a, I don't have a CRM problem, or it's not a, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, you know, that's not correct. It's simply that you're not doing enough work. That's it. You're not making enough offers on properties. Simple as that. And I want you to do this exercise. I want you to, throughout the day, probably tomorrow, whenever you watch this, do it the next day. Every 15 minutes, you're gonna write down what you did in that 15 minutes. Do this for every 15 minutes throughout the day. At the end of the day, read back the piece of paper and see how much work you actually did. See how many needle moving activities you actually did. So a lot of people actually don't do needle moving activities. Like they say, oh, I work 10 hours a day. Oh, I work 10 hours a day, and 9 hours of the day you're just watching YouTube. Like that's not working. That doesn't lead to a check. So you need to figure out, how can I use my time as wisely as possible and fill it with 90% money-making activities, 90% moving the needle that actually leads to a check. Not watching YouTube videos. YouTube is never gonna give you a check unless you're a creator, okay? Watching a YouTube video is never going to lead to money in your bank account. Almost never. There's some action you have to take after watching a YouTube video to lead to a check. So if you're watching YouTube, then apply what you watched on YouTube. You've watched enough. You've watched enough content about whatever industry you're getting into. You've watched enough content. It's just this analysis paralysis that you are facing, where you think, oh, if I watch another YouTube video, then I'll do this or I'll do that. And I was telling somebody about this the other day, and they were saying that they get distracted by, oh, this is a really cool way to get leads. Like, let's say you're working PropWire and you're pulling leads from PropWire, which is a great resource. It's free. Go check it out. And then you're like, oh my gosh, Deal Machine does this. I'm gonna go and look at Deal Machine, or I'm gonna go and look at this other software, and you're jumping all over the place. When you're looking at different softwares or YouTube videos or whatever it might be, you're not actually wanting to watch those YouTube videos or wanting to do the new software or whatever. The reason you're doing this and watching the YouTube videos and going to the new software and jumping all over the place is because at the end of the day, there's two people inside of you, right? There is the person A, who says, oh, let's go watch this YouTube video, it's gonna benefit us. Or, oh, let's go look at this software, it's gonna benefit us. Okay, in reality, it doesn't benefit you. I'll explain that. And then you have person B, who actually does the work and says, we don't need another YouTube video. We'll learn as we do it. And so the question you have to ask yourself is, which one of these two people are you? Are you the analysis paralysis, oh, let's go look at all the software and get the best things before I start? Or are you the person who just takes the action? I guarantee most of you who haven't gotten your first deal is this person. So why do you do that though? Because I understand it's difficult to transition into just this person, and it takes a while. Why do you be this person? It goes back forever. I mean, if we really analyze it, how have humans developed over time? How have humans evolved over time? We want to be in a pact. We want to be with other humans. We don't want to get judged or kicked out of the pact, right? So if you're over here and you're scared of rejection, scared of jumping on the phone and having somebody say, hey, F off, don't call me again, then you're gonna want to subconsciously go watch these YouTube videos and look at this software. You don't actually need to do that stuff. You don't at all. But your subconscious brain doesn't want to get kicked out of the pact, doesn't want to be uncomfortable because you don't know every little thing about it. So you know that if you call somebody, it's going to lead to rejection. It's bound to happen. And so you need to realize that, okay, well, obviously my subconscious mind is telling me to watch YouTube and do the software stuff and everything, but you need to just overcome that, stop negotiating with yourself, and just take action. Because at the end of the day, you haven't gotten your first deal because you haven't called enough people. You haven't submitted enough offers on properties. Simple as that. And it probably makes you angry because you know that it's that simple. All you have to do is call property owners and submit an offer on their property, and it'll lead to a check. Now, like I said in the beginning, consistency is different than getting your first deal. Getting consistent in this industry is very difficult. In my opinion, it's more difficult than getting your first deal. However, getting your first deal is not that difficult. The only reason it is difficult is because you're not talking to enough people. You're being lazy. So you just need to work more. Simple as that. And here's the thing is that I talk to people in this industry that haven't gotten their first deal yet. And they say to me, oh, I'm calling and I'm doing everything and I just haven't gotten my first deal and blah, 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 blah. But listen, you haven't gotten your first deal because you're not talking to enough people. The people who say that to me are calling for 30, 45 minutes a day and acting like a check is just gonna appear out of nowhere. And listen, I get it because I was that person. I was only, half-assing everything and then I would just hope that a check would come. But you have to realize that that's not how it works. Entrepreneurship in general, you have to put in effort to have a reward. And especially real estate, if you're not submitting offers and literally talking to people, not just emailing people, talking to people on the phone, you are not going to get a deal. Because let's say you're blasting out contracts or something to property owners or agents or whatever, you're going to get beat out by somebody who's blasting out contracts and jumping on the phone. Think about this, if you're an agent and you're representing a seller and you get 2 emails, you get one email that's an offer, the other one's also an offer, but the second email, that person called you previously and said, hey, I'm gonna send over an offer via email, what's the best email, talk to you about the property, and they're the same offers, they're gonna go with the one that they talk to on the phone. Every single time, they're gonna go with the one that they talk to on the phone. And so you have to realize that you are in a competitive environment. And yes, there's abundance, but you are in a competitive environment and you're going to get beat out, especially if you're going on market, you're going to get beat out by somebody who actually calls, who actually picks up the phone and submits offers and talks to people. So you need to just talk to people. You need to pick up the phone and call more people. That's the only reason you haven't done your first deal is because you aren't talking to enough people. And I promise you, you know enough. You've watched enough YouTube. You don't need all the software. You don't need a CRM. You don't need all of this stuff. You just need to pick up the phone and call people. I mean, you can do it. It's very simple. It's not easy. Don't get me wrong. It's not easy, but it's very simple. All you have to do is pick up the phone, talk to people. It is difficult to do that in the beginning. I found it difficult too, but you just have to do it. And the faster you do it, the faster you'll get better. I wish that I talked to more people a year and a half ago when I started. I think I was doing 10 contacts a day with cold calling. If I bumped that up to 50 contacts a day, I had the time to do it. I just didn't do it. I would be in a significantly different position than I am right now. So I just want you to know that the more people you talk to, the more money you'll bring in. And I knew this a year and a half ago when I started, but I didn't do it. I just did the minimum. So go above and beyond, outpace your competition, and you'll succeed so much faster than most people. I mean, if you do 50 contacts a day instead of 10, then you will learn so much faster. Like I said, I wish I did that. I'd be in a significantly different position than I am now. So just work harder. That's all it is. That's all it is. Talk to more people. Well, that's all I've got for you today. If you got any value, like and subscribe, and see you guys tomorrow. God bless you.